Hi, welcome back to Daytime. Well, with spring and summer upon us, I think we're all spending a lot more time outdoors. But that doesn't mean we're always leaving the house, but it's nice to have something set up in the backyard or making the front yard look better. And that's where the good folks at Pioneer Craftsman come in. And Paul Meier is here with us again to walk us through some great exterior developments and enhancements that people can make to improve the value of their home and just make it more fun to live in.
That's right. I think a lot of people buy their home and over the years decide, oh, you know what, I'd like to spruce up the front. I'd like to make it look a little more appealing and have a little more curb appeal, adding value and kind of beautifying the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So whether it's a big project or small project, we've got some ideas that people come with, and we can get onto the drawing board or computer, and start the ideas flowing and show them what this can look like in real life.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I read somewhere that the government incentive, the $1,350, whatever, actually does include just outside renovations as well. Is that correct?
That's correct. I mean, even gone beyond our scope, it's sod, landscaping, things like that. So that can all tie into adding a new front door, and then maybe making a nice walkway or some planting and shrubbery and things like that. So yeah, that all can tie into a bigger project.
Yeah. Well, I know the curb appeal is one of the things that you hear in the real estate world a lot, of the curb appeal, which makes sense when you first drive up what the house looks like from the street. Mm-hmm. But I have a feeling that that's probably one of the areas that might be most neglected till the last minute with people.
Oh, for sure. I think we buy the house and there's a lot of the mortgage to pay, and we kind of say, well, we'll get to the planting later, and 10 years kind of goes by, and you just don't get to that type of project. So yeah, we're clients coming with a 7-year-old home or a 11-year-old home and saying, you know what, I need to spruce this up. I want to change the front door. I was never happy with it. Now we have a little bit of money. The cash incentive from the government certainly is a good catalyst to say, let's get going. Let's start one of those projects.
Yeah. Well, let's get going. Walk us through a couple of these things.
Excellent.
All right.
We've got a couple kind of front elevations that we're going to show you. This is an existing home, a wartime home built in the 50s. Pretty plain Jane, not much of a front yard or porch on this.
Right.
The clients came to us. There's an addition attached to this, but you can see over onto the next slide that all of a sudden the addition on the top incorporates a porch, some columns, and it really changes the look of that house.
Is that the same house?
Yes, it's not kind of extreme, but it facilitated an addition to the top of the bedroom, a larger dormer, a fake dormer off to the left there, and a nice porch. We treated the porch with a composite decking and some fiberglass and ABS post and rail. Again, low maintenance kind of thing.
Right. Now, and when this was all said and done, it looks like they had a whole second floor.
It does. It really gives the roof some kind of impact, whereas before it was pretty plain and mundane. It really does add character to that whole street level facade.
That is
incredible.
Great.
Yeah.
What a difference, because it has a patio. Basically, the patio is an entranceway.
Yeah.
Or the front deck, and you walk up and you're in the door. Mm-hmm. Whereas this, you could sit out, have a coffee, wave to the neighbors as they go by, which I think is great because it helps enhance the community feel.
Exactly.
Again.
The kids can play outside, and you get to know your neighbors because you say hi. You kind of introduce yourselves, and you're right there in front of everyone, and the neighborhood's safer for that reason too.
Wow.
So,
Paul Meier, show me more.
Okay. The next project certainly kind of bridges the gap of the last one being more simplistic to kind of more extravagant. People saying, a beautiful property, I love the home, it doesn't have a lot of curb appeal. It's kind of a mix mash of misproportionate features and windows and front porch. Kind of looks like it's sunk into the ground maybe a few feet because it's dorky in comparison to the rest of the house, for lack of a better term. The dormers on the garage aren't proportionate.
Right.
So, I mean, a beautiful estate property when you drive in, but it has no appeal to kind of walk to the front door because it is the old Tudor, a real kind of poor rendition of a Tudor-style house from way back when.
It almost has a churchy look to it.
Yeah, and it's kind of the awkwardness of the steep pitch onto the right side with an angled type facade that protrudes out. So again, some dramatic things on this house, but they don't work well together.
Right.
So the client kind of really wanted to change that. They wanted, when you drove in the driveway, they wanted to focus in on the house and really kind of have that wow factor.
Wow.
And introducing the porch again, a big feature, the big front door, the columns across there, the arched windows again all help with the overall softening of some of the larger peaks.
Right.
And again, you start to see continuity across the front of the facade, and incorporating some landscaping, that always helps with the stonework and the patio.
I was just going to say, it looks like something as simple as just building like a little retaining wall makes all the difference in the world.
That's right. That's right. It downplays the garage doors now aren't so dominant. We've pulled a porch kind of overhang out and some columns again off to the left side.
Right.
In this case, we did rebuild the left side over to the garage because it wouldn't accommodate the larger dormer that we were adding. But the rest of the house to the right really kind of stayed the same, with the exception of that porch facade.
Incredible. And just wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, and then just as you said, balancing it out, and it doesn't look so steep on the one end anymore, and smoothing everything out. Great job. Well, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to take a look at the backyard and the fun we can have back there.
Excellent.
All right, come on back for more Daytime after this.